Recording in progress.
No one's virtually in the audience, so I hope our audio is working. Commissioner. There it is.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 9 o'clock. Today is December 6, 2022. We want to welcome all of you to San Luis County Board of County Commissioners regular scheduled meeting. So at this time, I'm going to ask everyone to rise, and Commissioner Luis Lopez, would you please give us an invocation?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this joyous holiday Christmas season we are about to enter. We pray that you keep our families that are traveling and visiting one another during this joyous season to be safe in all their journeys and travels. Please keep our students and our children warm and safe, and may we all have a glorious Christmas season. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Would you please join me on the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Durancan.
Commissioner Luis Lopez.
Here.
Commissioner Felix Lopez.
Here. And Commissioner Tony is attending a meeting for the appropriations, reviewing grants today in Pueblo, so he will not be joining us. However, we do have a quorum, so thank you so much. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda, Mr. Durancan?
No changes, Commissioner, although when you reach item 9A, I will ask you to table that item, but no changes to the agenda.
Very good. I will entertain a motion at this time.
Motion to approve the agenda.
And I'm going to second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez.
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez.
Yes.
Thank you. Consideration of minutes, we don't have any. So we want to welcome the new LAC mine representatives this morning. John, welcome. Ms. Torres, welcome. And I know you have a basketball and that scares me, but certainly we'll have the one-on-one later on. Please join us, and you have a presentation / donation for the San Luis County Fairgrounds.
Very good, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I'd just like to, on behalf of New York Coal, say very much we appreciate you being part of this community. And one of our focuses and one of our emphasis is to make sure that we can contribute in some small way to improvements in the community. And even in the short time that I've been here, I can see contributions from many people that are improving the facilities around the county and in the town of Trinidad, and it's really good to see, and I'm really pleased to be part of contributing to that. So we'd like to present a cheque today to contribute to the basketball, the construction of the basketball court at the county fairgrounds. I was really happy to visit with Phil the other day, about a month and a half ago, and have a look at the improvements, particularly in the park there, and the kids' playground, and the picnic facilities, and I'm very happy to contribute to the ongoing construction activities in that park at the fairgrounds, because I can see it's going to be a bit of a hot spot for people to congregate. Maybe not in the middle of winter, but certainly as the summer comes on in April and May, it'd be great if this basketball court was also ready to be used. So we'd like to present a cheque. One of the focuses for UL is the youth and community. So this is a combination to add to the facility at that fairground, with a focus on giving our youth a
bottom of our heart on behalf of the citizens of Los Angeles County and Trinidad. Thank you for the contribution. Outdoor recreation is exactly where we need to be. In Los Angeles County, we're going through a feasibility study to improve the grounds at the fairgrounds, and certainly this is going to be one of those stepping stones to provide more access for the youth to congregate, for families to come together. We do have other plans to erect a couple of other structures out there. So certainly when we get there, we will have an invitation from New York, and then maybe we can have that challenge. Remember, 20 minutes. Very good. So, we would like to take a photo up with you all, if that would be okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Director? Did you get the money? Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Really appreciate it.
So much. I'm gonna put this right here in Tony's spot.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You guys have a great day.
Very much. Really appreciate it, and once again, welcome. Thank you for all of this stuff.
That's great.
Very good. Very good. Okay,
Thanks
thank
very
you.
much. Excuse me.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, New Elk, and for your wonderful gift, but I also like to thank our staff. This was a pipe dream we started about 6, 7 years ago, and now it's come to fruition. So if it wasn't for our staff getting all the paperwork done, we wouldn't have great endurance like this today. So thank you, staff, for what you guys have done. And I look forward to seeing those fairgrounds. And I got 2 years left, let's get them done.
Well, this is really a reflection on Team Los Angeles County. So at this time, let us go to the reading of correspondence. Commissioner Luis Lopez, would you please provide us an update?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I had a few meetings I was unable to attend due to, as you can hear my voice, I still had a lingering cough still going. But I was able to attend our health department board meeting. And we finalized the budget. I think we're good to go with RN here at the county. There was no changes, correct?
No, it was still what she had.
So the board approved the budget for the health department. Thank you, Los Angeles County and Huerfano County for getting this accomplished. Also report that the monkeypox pandemic is nearly over and about to be taken off as a pandemic event nationwide. And that was pretty much it for the Board of Health. Otero Partners Incorporated met. I was unable to attend that meeting as well. And I have the Front Range Passenger Rail Conference starting Thursday. I'll be in Denver for that. And then next week, of course, we have our Colorado Counties Incorporated board meetings in Denver, all of Monday, Tuesday, and half of Wednesday of next week. Be attending that. But I would like to give a big shout out to my Honey Farmer girls basketball team who released the champions of the Trinidad State basketball tournament this past weekend. Congratulations to them and all the teams and all the kids that came and played. It was a great amount of basketball. I think I'm good at basketball for a while. I saw a lot of games, but really enjoyed it. Very proud of the girls, watching them grow, seeing them play year after year as little kids, all the way to their junior and senior year now as they're growing up. It sure is heartwarming to see these young women and young men grow into young mature adults. And congratulations to them. And that's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Lopez. Provide a couple of updates. The National Association of Counties, they held a national meeting with all 50 states on the agriculture perspectives, climate smart ag. So So I had a couple of questions for them. I extended an invitation to Ms. Jody Amaro, as she happened to be nearby to join me on the meeting, and it was quite interesting because the definition through the United States Department of Ag is not quite there yet. But one of the things that the Department of Ag at the national level will be setting aside is $3 billion, $3.3 billion for grants nationwide to provide subsidies for farmers that choose to do this climate smart agriculture. And so in it, it has a lot of the farmers that receive these grants will have to comply with the carbon sequestration, with exactly the blueprint that is coming from that. So it was quite an interesting conversation. It was about an hour and a half meeting, a lot of questions because it is new field for all the farming and ag communities. But this program is going to be rolled out fairly soon. And one of the comments that kind of what we were able to produce with X number of acreage may be able to be produced with less acreage by using this climate smart ag. So there's a lot of research to be made. So one of the things that I'm going to be working directly with our Colorado counties is to get the translation from that language to what exactly it means for individuals farming here in frontier counties, rural counties throughout rural America. So that meeting was quite interesting. We had a couple of updates on the energy. My question to the representative from the Department of Ag at the national level was, part of the question was asked of all of us, what are some of the impediments for the ag communities where you live? And for us, basically, is that the inability to stop the inflation for some of the farming communities. Implements are so expensive, diesel is so expensive, and a lot of our farmers are not able to hire employees to help them do their chores at their farms and ranches. So this is going to be from the national level to the states, and now we'll see exactly how it translates. And incidentally, then I attended last Friday again. I'm on the board for the National Counties Association, and part of the same presentation, the different presenter, but the same topic came up. So you can tell that this is going to be something that is going to be driven. This climate smart agriculture is going to be one of those things that is going to be at the forefront of it all. And on behalf of the National Association of Counties, kudos and congratulations to Los Angeles County for joining Operation Greenlight. They recognize the counties that did support veterans and the initiatives that we took. So that was great. And now we know this is going to be a yearly activity that's going to take place. So it was great to bring those kudos back to everyone. I had an opportunity to attend the DHS Adoption Day celebration a couple of weeks ago with DHS and the courts and our council. It was an incredible emotional day for families that have adopted a child and given that opportunity to a new life. Incredible, emotional. So if you haven't been to one of those, I certainly would say it'll make your day and basically gives you a whole different perspective in the way we see life. So, and we also had, last week we met with our city partners, the city of Trinidad. Mr. Dorncamp and I attended a meeting to plan the legislative roundtable that's going to be held on January the 4th from 9:30 to noon. So we invite the community to be there. Just kind of briefly to give you the 30,000-foot perspective, we are inviting both U.S. senators, representatives, or themselves if they happen to be available. Senator Bennett, Hickenlooper. We're inviting the 3rd Congressional Representative, Ms. Bobert. And we're also extending an invitation to our local legislative staff, legislative representatives, State Representative-elect Mr. Ty Winter, and Senator elect for District 35, Mr. Rob Pelton. And then we also have one of the things that we want to highlight, Mr. Ray Odom, the Veterans Service Officer for Los Angeles County, has done so much for our veterans. He will also be one of the key presentations that we're going to be bringing to our community from our county, because what he has done and the services that we are providing for our veterans, it's just paramount to anything. We invited also representatives from the mine, from Evergreen. We will have obviously the city and county commissioners attending, and I believe that there is so much opportunity to get that information. We have an invitation also. I spoke with a representative from the Attorney General's office yesterday on the opioid settlement. What is happening, how much money is coming to Colorado, how much money is going to be coming to Region 19, and how we spend those dollars. So they have accepted that. And then there is one one of the local presenters that we're inviting as well is the Keep Trinidad Safe. There is a new initiative, and the Trinidad Community Foundation, through direct legislation, applied for some grants. And there are some nonprofits in Trinidad doing some great work in keeping Trinidad safe. So they're going to be joining us as well, but stay tuned. And so on December the 4th at 9:30 a.m., this is going to be held at Trinidad State College at the Pioneer Room. That's already been secured, so we're as we go through the process, I think we should be able to finalize the agenda in the next very near future. So that would be my update.
Chairman, if I may add
Yes, please.
one last comment on the Trinidad State College tournament. I forgot to make mention to all of the coaching staffs for all they've done for their community efforts for our kids, and also for our referees that were there. And here's one here today, Mr. David Sansteven. Thank you for what you guys do. It really puts a lot of time into it, and thank you for doing it. Thank you.
Supporting our youth. Thank you so much. Elected officials update. We have had a text message from our sheriff. There is no update from his office, and we have our county assessor, Mrs. Jody Amaro, is not here. She's attending the conference. So I don't know if we have anyone from the clerk and recorder's office to provide an update. Anyone from our treasurer's office? Anyone from our district attorney's office? The coroner? County coroner? And anyone from the county surveyor? Well, thank you. We are going to go at this time, public update, public comments. Mr. Doric Anthony?
No one says it, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you. Anyone online that wishes to address the Board of County Commissioners? Under public comment? Okay. We will go to unfinished business. There is an item listed in their consideration of valid liquor license renewal. It is my understanding that that particular application has been withdrawn. So,
Do we need to take any formal action, Councilor?
You have a pending application, you had a pending application before you, so they withdrawn, they still take it.
so the applicant had met all of the criteria to apply for a liquor license, so.
If I may, Chairman, I
Please.
believe, I had a concern with the liquor license being approved due to the fact that the business has been shuttered for over 15, 20 years. It has not been open. And my concern at that time was, why would we grant a license permit if the business is not open? And so that's why we gave them an opportunity to come here and do a presentation to us. But with it being withdrawn, the application being withdrawn, I would take that as they're not wanting to move forward with the application.
They withdrawn through an email, they verbally had told the clerk and recorder that they withdrawn, so that's the information that you have before you. I would still say you have a pending application, and I'll make a motion on whether or not to renew the application based on the information you
intended formality to remove from the table prior to.
Yes, because we tabled that application, that's correct. So I would entertain a motion to take that item off the table.
So moved.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Yes. So at this time also, I will entertain a motion.
So open for discussion with it being presented as is with clerk and recorder's office. I will make a motion to deny the Ludlow Valley liquor license.
You know, and I went back, Commissioner, and I looked at the documentation, I looked at statute, and they met all the requirements, they haven't been opened. But since we have the withdrawn, voluntary withdrawal from their perspective, I think on this particular license application, I am going to support their application. So we have a motion, and to deny the application, I can't second that.
Then we'll have to table it for a future vote.
We can reach out to Joe and see if we can get something formally from them withdrawing the application.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for.
So I'll withdraw my motion to deny, make a motion to table.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate that. I second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
And certainly, my concern is I want to have that official documentation before the Commissioner. Thank you. We will be at 10 o'clock stopping this meeting and going into a public hearing. So at this time, we're going to go into new business. Consideration of airport materials RFP. Mr. Dornkamp.
Commissioners, I've asked the table to, excuse me, I've asked the board to table this item. We're actually going to wait until we have secured the funding. Finance Director Christy Coley's been doing yeoman's work on trying to get the state and by extension the EPA to commit to assisting us with brownfields funds to mitigate the materials out of the airport, and it is dragging on. So I talked with the only contractor that submitted a revised RFP. They're okay with holding on until we can secure that funding.
Thank you, sir.
So I ask you to table it, please.
I will make a motion to lay this on the table, the consideration of urban materials RFP.
Second motion.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. 9B, consideration of CCOM Universal Service Order Form, Elevator Form 9. Mr. Dornkamp.
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is an add-on to an agreement that the board has with CCOM for the VoIP line that is part of our security in the elevator, so if folks have issues in there, they can have a way of letting someone know there's an issue in there besides pounding on the doors. And the cost appears to be $25 a month in addition to what we're currently paying CCOM. And we've made a few changes, but it appears we need to make a few more changes as far as names, et cetera, on the signature line and on who the contacts are. But we'll have those changes made, and the one that I see that needs to be changed is we need to change, I believe you guys are looking at the one that has Luis Lopez as a contact name on page 30. And we will change that to Felix Lopez, and we'll remove Joseph Messis's name from the contact list. And then page 33, we'll remove, I believe it is Luis's name there also. I don't know, I don't have the most.
Has your name.
Okay, then we'll remove me and put Felix there in the title commissioner, and we'll over the email, we'll have Felix's email and Mike. And Paula's raising her hand.
I have a question, just because, so I paid CenturyLink for an elevator telephone line, is this replacing that?
It says it is with Comcast. CCOM via the Comcast is ported through Comcast.
But I know I paid
We have a
the
telephone line.
86.
We have a telephone line.
Yeah,
Is it the line for here, or is it the line for DHS?
it's billed as our elevator
Correct.
phone line.
And we've paid that line for a long time.
Commissioners, and I'd ask you to table this until we get this clarified.
There we go. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to table.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Thank you. Consideration of King Area Volunteer Fire Department Ambulance Service RETAC grant application. Mr. Dronjak?
Commissioner, before you for your consideration is RETAC grant application that Kim Ambulance District is submitting, I believe. And I think what they're requesting is a $5,000 contribution from RETAC for purchase for total, and they'll donate $18,050 for a total project of $23,050. It is to replace their, what I understand is the Life Pack 12 with the Life Pack 15. So I guess if there's any question, maybe Mr. Petraeus could assist.
Chief, do you have any additional information?
So that is the portion of this year's RETAG that we normally get. We normally get the county to get 15,000, which we came to you last month for, or the month before, for the medical direction. This is the additional 5,000 that they had overflow. So we, at Trinidad Ambulance, since it's the whole county, has let Nikki and Kim Volunteer Fire Department get some needed equipment that they have. The Life Pack 12 is no longer serviceable and is not secured by the FDA, so she has to replace that. So she's working with that, and RETAG is wanting to get those funds kind of secured so that they can do their books. So I think that's why that's coming up now. And Nikki is working hard to secure those other funds if she hasn't already through her fundraising efforts to secure the other 18,000 for the purchase of that refurbished Life Pack 15 that'll be within FDA specs.
And thank you so much for that reminder, Chief. You actually made that clarification when you came to us, and we indeed appreciated the fact that Kim will also be receiving these benefits. So thank you so much. Commissioner, any other discussions? Okay, I will make a motion to approve the King Area Volunteer Fire Department Ambulance Service RETAC grant application for the $5,000.
Second.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. Consideration of letter of agreement with Denver Air Route Traffic Control Center. Mr. Burlington.
Commissioners, the board approved the original agreement a few meetings back, but when we received the signed portion from Denver Air Route Traffic Control, they had made a few changes, so I've made a new one, the most recent version, up for your consideration. And I don't know if through the voting you have to deny or kick out, or for a better way of describing it, the original one, or this one in lieu of, or how you need to phrase that.
I was actually, as I read this last night, and one of my notes is we would be approving this to replace what had been presented to us before, with whatever changes. So I think that would suffice. And I get it not, so Commissioner Luis Lopez.
If the councilor has no questions or concerns, I'm good.
Very good, so I'll entertain the motion.
Motion to approve the letter agreement with Denver Air Route Traffic Control Center.
Commissioner Felix Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Luis.
Yes.
Consideration of Trinidad Ambulance District 2023 license. Chief,
Just wanted to come before the board and if there's any questions that I can answer for the application process. I do know that the state is pushing through some legislation of changing the ambulance licensing procedures. I will tell you that Chief Moreno and myself will be at the forefront of that. I've just been elected to be on one of the legislative committees for MSAC. So we'll be able to, and that's one of the topics that we'll be addressing in the future.
So as we do it now, we go through the health department and then get all of the information and inspections and all that, then come before the board. What are they looking at possibly having another body to oversee this?
So one thing is, and I do believe that the counties, from what I've been told at this juncture, is the counties are still going to have a voice. But Colorado is one of the only states that does not have a state licensure for ambulances. So I think they're trying to change that. I do understand that counties, and I believe Los Angeles County has spoken up as well, that we want a voice of be at the table for that. So I think that's one of the things that our concern is as well. It's been done for so long, or done very well this far. So we want to make sure that we ensure that we have a seat at the table.
So if I may just a tad extrapolate on it, the conversations we had when the bill was advancing through the legislature, what we wanted to do is certainly the state will give us either I believe it's going to be a ceiling or a floor, but any county basically cannot. And for the sake of security, we have always done our due diligence at the county level. And the state is pretty much, wanting to tell you here is your guide process, which we already have. And I think 64 counties have done fantastic in the last forever, if you will, managing their ambulance district services. So, but the rulemaking, and I'm glad that you are stepping up and you're going to be serving in there, the rulemaking as we go through the process, we will continue to say that counties, through partnership and collaboration with the ambulance services that are provided, we understand what the obligations, but we also understand the responsibilities and liabilities there. So, but thank you for doing that, and that's kind of, I have not read the rulemaking, the recommendations, so I'm not going to presume that A or B, but certainly I want to say thank you for stepping up in that.
I know our first meeting on that legislative committee is the 16th of this month. So hopefully have a better idea of what we're looking at and kind of make sure that we have a voice for rural Colorado.
Thank you.
Of the 196 pages presented, are they all ready to go?
It's all right here.
Yeah. You know, this needs to be translated for in some instances, but we do go through them, and personally, the check marks from the guiding authority outside of ours, it's a yes.
So,
Commissioner?
I have no other questions or concerns. I'd just like to thank our ambulance district, what you guys do, protecting the population, the public, and being there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thank you.
And one thing I wanted to make sure to mention too with the grant for the RETAC, the $15,000 that, and just so we're clear, is for the whole county, including Kim Volunteer Fire Department, for our medical direction. So that's all inclusive of that, and that's what we use those funds for.
And that's changed. It wasn't like that back in the day.
No.
So,
So we have some new leadership, and I look forward to moving forward.
Thank you for getting that done.
You, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the Trinidad Ambulance District 2023 license.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Okay, yes.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you for all you sir. Thank you very much.
Consideration of Stonewall Shop and Bag Liquor License Renewal. Councilor, do you have any concerns, any questions?
I reviewed the application and it is complete.
Commissioner Luis Lopez.
Only that they have some really good green chili up here. They're nice, nice folks, and I have no questions or concerns, and if I may do so, make the motion to approve the Stonewall Shopping Bag Liquor License renewal.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Consideration of Valley Law quote for additional security upgrades, Mr. Governor.
Commissioners, with Valley Lock, before your consideration is Valley Lock's additional quote for security upgrades. When Valley Lock came in and installed, I guess I would call them panic buttons, for lack of a better way to describe them, they found that there were some areas in the courthouse where our wireless internet, which is integral to these panic buttons operating properly, has some issues where we don't have strong Wi-Fi. So my understanding is that this quote thing will take care of those issues. And when I asked Carl Cooter with Valley Lock why this wasn't considered in the original quote, he said that they did not realize at that time that there were these dead spots, or these spots where there's weakened Wi-Fi. And I talked with our IT person, Aiden, and he concurred that there are some areas in the courthouse that the Wi-Fi is lacking. So this will take care of those areas, and then those panic buttons should be operational, every place that they're installed.
And this is a one-time expense to correct that deficiency.
That is correct.
And it falls under our minimum amount for the procurement process, so Finance Director, do we have the funding for this?
We do. We do.
I have no other
I
questions.
knew you had that question, sir, so thank you so much. I will make a motion to approve the Valley Lock additional security services upgrades.
Second.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. Consideration of 2022 Emergency Management Performance Grant, EMPG, Mr. Dorian.
Commissioners, through discussions with Christy Coleman and with our administrative assistant Paula Lucero, they finally made my mind clear as to exactly what the board's entering into, because it, for whatever reason, it's a long story. But what this is a grant that will allow us to pay for part of our past emergency manager's salary. So it goes down to it in a nutshell.
With, this is retroactive from 1 January 2022 to 31st December 2022.
Correct.
Okay. One clarification. Commissioner Lopez, any other discussion, questions?
Just thank you to Christy Coleman and Paul Lucero for getting this accomplished and working through this. I have no other comments.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the 2022 Emergency Management Performance Grant program.
I second that motion.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Section 10, financial matters, consideration of bills and payable for the second half of November 2022. Director of Finance overview.
Payroll as of November 30th was $193,018.95. Any questions on payroll? Bills paid on November 16th, $203,798.36. Within that packet, we had royalties of $15,000. And then bills paid on November 30th, $78,267.98. on invoices that were paid.
I have a question on payroll. With the clerk's office on the recall or the recount, do she have enough funding in that budget to cover
We
that?
will be reimbursed. I asked you,
Okay.
that's the first question I asked.
Will
We
the
will be
state?
reimbursed by the state.
Hello?
That's Joe.
Joe?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
You can now, you're kind of muffled.
Okay. Oh, now. Now.
Your voice really seems to be digitized.
The question on the recount.
Yeah, the question was, Mr. Mestes, is if the funds were allocated, i.e. budgeted for the recount that, for Congressional District 3.
It's going to reimburse them at 100% for the cost, and I've given them cost estimates of what we think it's going to run, and we'll actually begin that work tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you so much for that response and clarification.
Thanks.
Finance Director Coverly, any additional information?
No,
Okay. Commissioner Luis Lopez, any questions on that?
I have no questions.
No questions. I make motion to approve the bills and payroll for the second half of November 2022.
Second motion?
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. And at this time, we are going to take in a recess. I will make a motion to take a recess for the, I think that hasn't been changed yet, but it's 9:42, for the public hearing. We'll come back and then we'll go into executive session. So do I have a second to the motion?
Second.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. We'll reconvene this at 10 o'clock.
Recording stopped.
I know they used it yesterday for the planning commission.
You guys, Bruce, you guys are taking a break till 10.
Yeah, we have a hearing for a liquor license at 10, and then that's it, it'll take 15 minutes maybe.
I'll, I can't really
Mixing it. Paragraph.